Hello everybody, my name's Ardendrous, and welcome back to Sunless Sea. Last time, our Halloween episode didn't go great. If you'll notice up in the top right, we have a new captain. The Captain Geist. Because it's basically the Phantom of the Opera, and I am unoriginal with names. And if we take a look at the map, things are different. Last time, when we still had our old map and the Captain Moray, we were out exploring the northeastern corner of the map. Starting in Frostfound like here, and then exploring a couple other islands we hadn't seen around here. And I was making sure to keep track of our fuel and our supplies. And I thought I was keeping track of our terror level. We were at like 70 when we entered the area. I thought we had a little bit more time over here, and we had enough supplies and fuel so that we could at least make it back to Khan's Heart and pay the more expensive prices just to get us back to Fallen London. And it looked like we should be fine. Maybe it's slightly my fault staying out a little bit longer than we probably should have. But then we just got some really bad luck with the game. The game just like, okay, you're just gonna keep losing crew members until you can't move anymore. Or, it took us down to 4 of 10 crew at least, which is when you stop being able to move at full speed. So we ended up just slowly creeping along, and eventually terror hit 100 because we weren't moving fast enough to get to any place safe. And there was a mutiny. And we had a 36% chance to win and not die there. But of course, we didn't. So, the captain dies. And we go into character creation for the next captain. And our option is to start with no money and our map and just be back at square one, basically. Or lose the map and keep half of our money. And we choose to keep the money, so we had something to start with. But we've got to explore the whole map over again, which is great. A little bit of a positive note. We did choose to go with the Find Your Father's Bones mission again, and it is slightly different this time. What else? Oh yeah, we also picked up the Gnomic Gallivant again. And yeah, we didn't actually see the ending of that mission, so I'm okay with it. And we have the Shady Cook again. We'll get some real good stuff if we ever find, where is it? The Sea of Lilies. So, yep. We've got to find ourselves, we got to find our way around the Unterzee again. I'm hoping to be able to I'm hoping to survive long enough to bring this mission, this storyline of Your Father's Bones to the end. And that would, I feel like, we've seen quite a bit of this game. If we finally get to see one of the victory screens, that's probably what we're going to call the series. But that's probably still a couple episodes out, or a few episodes out. The series, if we get lucky, we'll probably go to like 35, maybe 40 episodes. This is episode 21. If we're really unlucky, we'll go to like 40. I'm kind of hoping to do it in less than that. I don't know. Anyways. I don't remember if we had anything else left to do here in Gatorsmorn. I think we already did this, so we know that the pirate poet's out there. And we could do this, but I don't think we're going to. So, let's just kick things off. Launch. Turn off the lights to save some fuel. And we're not going to return to Fallen London just yet, so we have a little bit more exploring to do out here. Let's try sending out the Z-Bat. I'm not sure if it's going to pick anything up. Nope. Just sailing off in this direction, I guess. I've been thinking about how I want to play this character. And I'm thinking about just going full pirate on this run. Just like you see a ship in the water, take it out. I'm contemplating it. I mean, we do that with any ship that's... We do that with a lot of ships that end up being like, okay, this is an enemy. But there are ships out here that are just like... I think they're like cargo ships or whatnot. But you can attack, but don't attack back. Or at least they won't start a fight with you. I'm thinking about becoming a pirate and going after some of those. This is the Salt Lions. Is this the northern one or the... I think this is the Northern Lion. Ease. We'll pull up here, get the port report. Do we have the hold space? Yes, we do. We only have cargo and... Oops. We only have fuel and supplies. You do have 200 echo. We could do this. Let's... Almost took that corner too tight. Salt Lions. Visit the Unmakers, carry Sphinx Stone, compile the port report. Sure, why not? That puts us at 37. And... Visit the Unmakers. Muscular pig wielders rest on camp stools watching you approach, passing hip flasks around. An unctuous overseer beckons you to sit. I think we've seen that one before. Anyways. So we have stuff back to do in New London. Fallen London. I usually get it right, but every once in a while I'm just like, New London, that's what it's called, and it's just not. Anyways. Go out. Probably until we hit the next island in this direction. And then we'll start heading back. Get into range. A lily flare from Stone Soul Isle. I was hoping to do a little bit more damage than that. One more shot. It's gonna get a hit off. Got it. Scoop it up or let it disperse. This will just give us a port report or visage, right? I don't think we need food right now. Or it gives us a Z story, I guess. Okay. Then what's it talking about visage with that? Do you get something special if you have a port report for visage then? I don't know. That's a lighthouse, I think. There are no islands. Maybe not. There's a light that swung around through here. An electric shiver in the air. It was a lighthouse. Skylar's End. I don't think we've seen that lighthouse before. Or at least nothing with that name before. These just rocks, or do they have a town port place? That's a pirate vessel. Nuncio is some distance to your east. We've never been to a Nuncio before. We're about to get a shot. Oh, really? This is an Alceus class corvette, so when we defeat it, this will get us a run-in with the pirate poet. Okay, I just kind of like fired that before it was ready. I'm just glad it actually hit. Ah, they got a shot off. One more should do it. And we got it without them getting another shot. Investigate the wreckage. Rescue the pirate poets and claim a bounty. 400 Echo. I feel like the 400 Echo is probably always going to be more worth it than just picking up whatever cargo was aboard the ship. And it does continue on the storyline of the pirate poets. I think there's more to that we just haven't gotten a chance to see. We have enough fuel. Let's keep on the lights. Hope slow the spread of our terror. We approach what is actually a new island to us. This is actually one of the positives of having to start over with a new map. New adventures and new places. And old adventures and new places too, even as well. Nuncio. I'm assuming you probably have a port. Or is it down to the south? Ah, that pirate vessel up there noticed us apparently. Do I really have to go all the way around? Oh, it's right there. Okay. You have gained a secret. A rat barge. Let's dock up. Oops. Almost just dropped my mouse off the desk. Nuncio. Do not return sender. Taciturn functionaries walk the docks in the uniforms of postmen. An enormous crowned statue casts a chilling shadow. The shadows gleam with rats' eyes. Their ceaseless chittering rolls like the tide. Assemble a postal report. Go to the postman's tavern, explore along the beach. Assemble a port report. You may not be very familiar with the locals yet, but you can provide a preliminary overview. Surface details. There is the statue in the middle of the island. That's hard to miss. There's the way everyone wears a uniform, and the way they call each other by their ranks in the postal service. There's the way the post authorities refer to regulations. There's the jargon, the curious habit of referring to any used-up thing as cancelled, as though the whole world were made of stamps. You write about vestigial bureaucracy and about trappings of order retained far from home. Go to the postman's tavern. Inky Blotter, it's called. The sign doesn't look like much. Warmer inside than it looks. Faces turn in your direction, but no one seems surprised to have a new arrival on the island. The Inky Blotter. Lit by two roaring fires, one at either end of the room. The bartender is in postman's uniform, like almost all of the patrons. A noseless postal inspector called Blunt Thomas delivers the drinks, clears tables, stacks the firewood. Listen on postal tall tales. Ask why the local currency consists of rats. Ask about the big statue in the center of town. Ask how they all occupy themselves all day. Let's go in order, I think. Unlocked with friendship, no more than 3. Unlocked with friendship, no more than 3. Yeah. Listen in on postal tall tales. Fishermen brag about fish that got away. Postmen brag about hard deliveries. Amazing what you get for a penny stamp. Look at this. This place looking like there's going to be a bit more story than I was expecting. Although I figured with a giant statue like that, there probably would be. Amazing what you get for a penny stamp. Delicate bottles lowered down chimneys on a rope. Do not fold under any circumstance letters curled through a narrow slot. Rattling, groaning crates brought back to the same address every day for 22 days running. Windows they pried open, the servants they bribed, the delivery surcharges they paid out of their own salaries just to get rid of one more packet. It is hard to tell which they hate more, the senders of mail or the recipients. Stands to reason. If the messenger was a welcome one, they tell the other fellow in person, reflects the hairless postwoman. You now have one, a newcomer in Nuncio. cultivating friendships with postmen. Why does the local currency consist of rats? 2 strings of rats for a pint of ale, 3 strings for wine, 5 for the tolerable brandy under the bar. Scarcity is not an issue. The hairless postwoman at the end of the bar smiles mirthlessly. Or maybe it's just the lack of eyebrows that does it. Long enough carrying the things around, you get into the habit, she says. And she tells you that if you stay out late enough, you'll see some of the postmen making a procession to the center of the island, stringing up rats around the statue like Yuletide decorations, in prayer to an ancient deity of this place. From the coughing and choking elsewhere in the pub, you'd guess this is a story that they often tell to newcomers. You're a newcomer. Finally, why is the hairless postwoman hairless? Legacy of some interestingly explosive package, mayhap? Maybe? Why did I think that said mayhaps? Faux pas. No, she says. Kurt, not pleased you asked. Still had eyebrows when I came to Nuncio. The postman at the next bench diverts you, speaks in a low voice. Lots of people find habits when they can't deliver the post anymore. This one has a plucking habit. Best learn not to notice. You glance up. The hairless postwoman is still glaring at you. You've lost a friendship. Great. I suppose we'll ask about the big statue in the center of town. If there were a guidebook for visitors, it would have to be the 1st century. The Monumental Postman. Oh, that? It's all of us, isn't it? Sort of the spirit of the island. Most of them don't seem troubled for more of an explanation than that. Though the hairless postwoman tells you it didn't always look like a fallen London postman at all. That it used to have a different face, and a more old-fashioned outfit. You're a newcomer again. And if we try listening to one of these again, will we go up to 3? We're still a newcomer. Before we try going up to what might bring us up to 4 into a new category, let's ask how they occupy themselves all day. There must be something more about this. There must be more than this, rather. Dead Letter Office. Big building, center of town. Hard to miss. You can work there too if you want. It's not clear whether this is a generous offer or a threat, though. Invited to serve. Well, accepted by the locals. Pretty cool. We can ask to borrow a uniform. This is going to have a pretty similar story to Visage, isn't it? Or maybe not exactly similar. But sure, let's try to fit in. If you're to fit in here, you'll need one. Look, but not touch. They're polite, even apologetic about your request. You're welcome here, and welcome to take shifts at the Dead Letter Office. But you cannot wear the uniform unless you are a postal employee back in fallen London. Regulations. Blunt Thomas let you have a look at his uniform jacket at least. Neat stitching, gilded buttons, a thin but dignified circle of braid at the collar. Inside, a patch that goes over the heart, stitched with 6 red letters. You can't read it, but it makes your eyes itch, and your scalp feel like burning. Cool. Guess we go back to the docks now. Explore along the beach, or try working at the Dead Letter Office. Let's explore the beach first, I think. There's a long stretch of shale dotted with washed-up kegs and barrels and smaller flotsam. Shifty going. The rocks slip and slither underfoot, but you keep your balance. Every lap of the wave drags up some new letter or parcel. The face of the water is dotted with them, as far as you can see in the blackness, carried by a powerful current. Argue with the man holding a broom? He's determined. He keeps shoving letters into the sea. The sea keeps shoving them back. Collect material for the dead letter office. Assist the man holding a broom. Rescue a parcel that won't stop meowing. Extraordinary. There aren't even any air holes. Ow! The parcel's contents are not at all pleased to make your acquaintance. A yellow glare, a flash of claws, a distinctive odor. Then the horrible animal is out of sight. You'd like to believe it will come to regret mauling you, but alas, it's likely to regard this rat-infested island as a paradise. Your left cheek will never be quite the same. 5 terror. But hey, we helped out a kitty in a box. We helped a kitty get out of a box. I suppose we'll collect things for the dead letter office as well? That's where all the flotsam belongs, so it can be sorted. Will of its own. You make your way along the shore with the big sack. Many of the envelopes are too damp to read, their addresses permanently lost. But a surprising number are still legible. There are also parcels. Here and there is a crate, a message in a wine bottle, a sealed cask that is bobbed up out of a shipwreck. Your sack ought to get heavy with all these contents, but it pulls upwards and away, straining inland towards the dead letter office like an unmanageable dog. You now have 1 dead post. Your nuncio, learned in postal circuits quality, is now 2, familiar with the pole. Interesting. Okay, we can't do anything with the guy with the broom anymore. Before we're going to come back here in a second, but let's head over to the dead letter office then. There's a sign of a canceled stamp over the door. This place is interesting. Story bits I wasn't expecting, like strangely just using rat as a currency for some reason to letters magically trying to come here to the middle of the island. There are things in this game just make 0 sense. I suppose that's what they're going for, so it works. Extensive tour. Blunt Thomas takes you around the office, a small collection room where those retrieving letters may state their business. A much larger set of back offices, where newly arrived letters and parcels are collected and sorted. A dank, briny smell that never goes away, presumably because so many of the parcels spent time in the water before they arrived here. In the back room is a machine ratted by a postal rat, a Ratus Faber in a pinstriped hat. It shovels sludge damp letters into the machine's hopper, and they come out dried, cleaned, pressed, and sorted into slots by size and quality of paper. We're now working shifts. Wait, what? They allow rats to work for them, but if the rats don't work for them, they become the currency? That doesn't sound right. Shift work in the dead letter office. One has various possible occupations here. None could be described as fast-paced. We can converse with the postal rat, or feed your undeliverable letters into the sorting machine. The gleaming hopper awaits. Let's do this first. 52 categories. After a prolonged whirring, the machine begins to distribute 7 invitations edged in gilt, like into the correspondence of the aristocracy slot. 2 oversized parcels, probably containing books, into the books tray. 1 stamped bronze tablet that drops with a clang into a bin marked First City. The postal rat watches all this with an air of satisfaction. Hey, we've experienced shift work. But it didn't change our relationship with the postman. Okay, we could go to the basements now, but let's talk to the rat first. Why doesn't it make a machine like this one back in London? Might lead to fewer dead letters in the first place. Regulations. Oh, no. That wouldn't be permitted at all. There are strict rules about the initial handling and sorting of post. And your experimental machine might mangle out the letters. It's only the dead material that isn't unimportant enough to be entrusted to a Ratus favor. His voice isn't bitter, but he twists a coil so hard that it springs sideways out of the machine and hangs off your shoe. We're trusted in Nuncio. We can't make a study of what goes on back here because we don't have something awaits us in port. But we can ask the rat for a key to the basements. You've worked here long enough now, and you might need one. No trouble at all. He's surprised by the request. Most postmen don't like it down there. No one ever asks for a key, but he'll cut you a new one. Just be careful in there, and come out if you start to feel wrong. What is in the basements? Open the back rooms. Are we talking back rooms? Like... Are we talking like back rooms like yellow walls? Monsters? I hope not. I have a feeling it probably has monsters. I'm not sure if we're doing the whole yellow walls. The key is warm in your pocket. Sure, why not? Deep and deeper. You had expected a few shelves of supplies, more files of letters a few years older. No. It is a pit, so deep that lantern light does not show the bottom. A spiral walkway descends along its walls, and that spiral opens wider as it goes, as if you were looking through the narrow end of a very large shell. Lining this wall are shelves and nooks, unevenly sized. Some are a few inches square and contain single scrolls of papyrus. Others support crates bigger than coffins. They're made of a woody fungus grown to meet requirements. There are no marks of carpentry or any of the postal rat's handiwork. 3 turns down the spiral and you feel you can't breathe. Time to leave. You can come back later. Maybe. You're now basement custodian, explorer of the lower basements, and we gained 5 terror. Do we continue back down there, or do we maybe tell the rat about this? Tell the postal rat about your basement findings. Gives you something new to chat about. Sure, why not? Troubled, but not surprised. They say that's been there since before we came. Before there were Londoners underneath. Before there was a dead letter office, there was someone here else. And they built the last layer on top of what was there before, and so on. When you press him a little further, he says, I've been down there. Didn't like it much, but I wanted to test my machine. Don't know if I could handle some of the very old dead letters. That would be a good sign, you know. Evidence the machine was in working order, good strong sorting categories, and so forth. He pauses. There's letters down there that set your hair on fire if you so much as look at them. See the bald patch on my left leg? That wasn't a machine accident, oh no. That singed right off as soon as I put my nose into one of them letters. Flaming letters? What? We picked up an extraordinary implication. Interesting? We could go down there with just our mirrors, but that seems like it would be a bad idea. Or if we had a whole bunch of light. We're gonna come back here with flares and candles. We have to keep this in mind, but let's end our shift. And I suppose we'll head back to the... There's new options here. Pig soundings. Perhaps there is some evidence of the great hollowness under these shores. Unlock with propagation. Nuncio no more than 0. Depth below. Striking the ground causes the stones to shift and rattle. It is hard at first to hear anything more than that. But if you try long enough and strike hard enough, the whole beach shivers like the surface of a drum. The flotsam letters quiver and line themselves in concentric circles around the point of impact. The next wave brings ashore 3 or 4 times the usual freight. Interesting. Anything new at the tavern? Hmm. I suppose we'll trade more stories about your shift work. You know how to fit in. Common ground. The parcels you've waved and entered... The parcels you weighed and entered in logbooks. The things that oozed out of them. The postman undelighted by your incredulity and shock. The civilian finally understanding the full horror of the post. They have stories even worse than those, let me tell you. Hang on a moment. Postmaster Scritch, we've all heard your rubbery lump story already. It's nothing to the tomb colony pickles. Pickled what? Is what I want to know. What about that soothing copper crate and how we had to scrape the bits off the masonry? Do you remember? The night runs late. This place has some interesting stories to tell. Let's bring up the pit, then? Someone must know something, or be curious. Perhaps not. You don't get far into your question before the hairless postwoman stands up and goes over to the fire, holding herself tightly. She is whispering nothing coherent. Fire, clean, smooth, down to the bone, no excuse, smooth, smooth, little black hairs. Still your fool tongue, says blunt Thomas. I figured that probably wouldn't end well, but I figured we'd try anyways. So don't talk about the caverns. Get to know. And I think, for now, that's what we're doing here. Because we could attempt to... We can converse again. We could attempt to descend into the basement of mirrors, but I think we're going to return when we have 5 candles and a flare. So, let's head off from Nuncio. Pretty interesting place. At launch. Is this ship... Yes, it is actually hostile. It has 15 crew. And 130 health. I don't think you kill off crew until it's like 50% or lower health, though. So we need to get it to 65 health before we can start killing crew. And I think we're just going to kill the ship first anyways. Yep. 2 more shots to kill the ship, but there's still 12 crew on board. This ship does some serious damage. Got it. So you've destroyed a rat barge. The ship is yours. What will you do with her? I think if you kill off all the crew, there's probably a different option here. But we ended up destroying the ship, so we didn't get it. Loot and scuttle her. She's a vile old vessel, and these seas aren't safe. Take what you can and move on. Lean pickings. A single cache of curiosities. A bolt of fabric. A bolt of spider silk fabric, in fact. Pretty cool. And with that, I think we're going to start heading back to Fallen London. Our hold is pretty full. Or, actually a lot less full than it was before. A lot less full regarding fuel, which is troubling. But if we take a look at the map, I think if we just, like, straight cut it to Fallen London, I think we'll be fine. Yeah, we should be fine, if we don't, like, dawdle in too many combats. Let's send out a Z-Bat. Maybe there's something along the way. If there's something, like, too far south, we're not going to stop for it. We're not going to pull off and stop to get down there instead. We're just going to keep going and come back to it later. Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot we already had nightmares on this character. Can we just ignore that for now? We can actually just close it and not deal with it at all. We're just gonna leave that there. New pop-up. The Crawling Stars. The lookout shouts. Far above, the false stars in the cavern roof are shifting. A rare and ominous event. What now? Record the change and assign a name. If the new shape seems well omened, your crew may ugh. No idea what just happened there. Your crew may be cheered. Who knows? It's a 50-50. Or we can forbid them to look. You can't really stop them, but you can at least discourage discussion. They won't like it, but it's safer. 50-50 shots? We're fortunate. Yes. The raid wheel. One sailor claims it resembles the sun. Another, a Hindu mandala cross. A third suggests the rose window of cathedral. This excites mockery. Nevertheless, the reaction is positive. You are fortunate, and we lost 3 terror for it. Cool. Good outcomes are nice. I think we're going to be safe on... I want to stop to see if this is an island, but I also... Okay, it's just like a rock then. The Z-Bat didn't tell us it was anything. But why did I start turning towards it? That makes no sense. We're a bit worried on our supplies and fuel. So I'm like, okay, we're not checking out any islands. We pass by something that might be an island, so I send out the Z-Bat. The Z-Bat says it's not an island, and I still turn towards it. What sense does that make? We're going straight towards this thing. We're not going around it. Unless it goes away from us. It's sort of just swimming away, so if it's not going to come at us, we're just going to sail by it. We can turn off the lights again then. Here it comes. Don't bother us, and I won't bother you. Is this an island? No islands in range. Okay, we're about halfway there. We'll make it on fuel. Supplies are a little more iffy, but I think they'll still make it. Leave us alone. Oh. I was hoping this was like an island. Nope, it's just a rock. An outcropping. Send out the Z-Bat again. Maybe there's something like to the south here. Oh, there's a maelstrom. Might as well get it on our map. Clear. The thing stopped following us. There we go. De Dubois Maelstrom. Okay, that's just like a marker on the map then. I keep seeing these little outcroppings and think, oh, is that an island? Nope. Oh, is that an island? Nope. That's an island though. Yay, it's Pigmo. Or Pigmo is nearby. What is this? Oh, I stopped paying attention to the rocks we were right next to. I started paying attention to, like, the maze here. Do we have the supplies to go pick up pig mode on our map? I think we'll be okay. It's a little out of the way, but I think we'll still be fine. We do pick up supplies and fuel here in pig mode. The port's on the other side, isn't it? Like, this is Pigmo Island itself. This is the KV side. Because that's the KV ship. What do we do on this run? Do we go for the story of helping build a nation, or do we go through the KV side so that we get quick access to the Rat Star? Might as well do this. Ignore them, that just loses a terror. Disembark. The Tale of Pigmo Isle. Again, we've been through all of this a couple of times now. We're just going to be skipping through it. if we go with the seneschal, we can very quickly go through the rat revolution again and just get the rat star. And the blue Skintilax to just be like really good in combat. Or we make it nation building so that we try to build this place up so that it's like a pretty good outpost out here on the Unterzee. Let's go. Let's go with the rats. Just like scroll through this. Don't need to go through any of that stuff. We've been through it all before. A palpable hit. We succeed again. You now have 3 Skintilac. Nice. And a bale of parabola linen. We're not going to take the Raddus Faber with us this time, because it lowers the civilization value by 1. Let's intercede on the half of the cavies, though, to put up their spirit. And take off. Hail Marinia! For 135 Echo, we can be fully healed now, which is pretty good. Or we can steal the Rat Star still. Okay, so Marinia is once again out here to look in on. I'm actually a fan that it's that much closer this time. Because I think Pigmo might be my favorite island in this game. We got to that story bit and it was like so just out there. It was just so much fun. That was the first point where in this game where we're just like, okay, I see what this game means when it says it's out there. Are you coming at us? If not, we're just sailing by. It's coming at us. It's gonna get a hit off on us. I don't think we can get 2 shots off before it hits us once. Yeah, there it is. Swimming it around to get into firing range. There we go. Scoop it up. You get a strange... I forgot these things gave us strange catch. Okay, so every time we pick up the... So, good to know. Oh, whenever we see a jellyfish thing, kill it and pick it up for a strange catch. Because we, like, need those for a couple of missions. Like, we need 1 for the doctor we pick up in London and like 7 for one of the missions in New London. I forget who it's for at the moment. But anyways, that's the light boat, isn't it? Yep. Sail through here. And go back into Fallen London. Time-wise, this is looking like it's going to turn out pretty well. Anyways, let's take a quick look at the map. Started in Gatorsmorn, found the salt lions again, found a new island we've never been to before, found pig mode, but we know where it is, it's just not on our map yet, apparently. Probably should have done like a circle around the island, but was still a little bit concerned about fuel. We would have made it, looking at it now. But we can turn off the light now. We went above 50 terror. Yep. Here we are, pulling into Wolfstack Docks once again. We have nothing to hide, sir. Go ahead and explore. Continue. Weather relief. Collect messages. Something changed underneath. Someone wants to sign on. That's all for now. Yada yada yada. Father's missing bones. You need favors? Admiralty's favor 3. We'll get that when we talk to the Admiral. a little gift. Might as well accept the dispensation. That was a mistake. I wasn't thinking about the fact that we had stuff. You know what? I don't think the game auto-saved when we pulled into port, but it hasn't auto-saved again since. So if I close the game right now, we can avoid this. We'll go back a little ways to make up for what I just did. So, we're gonna end it here so that next time so that I can fix this mistake for the start of next episode. So, I want to thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed as much as I have. We found... Sorry, wish I could leave this screen. We found a new island this time and just explored, found a couple more islands that we knew about last time, and just nice to know where they are. Anyways, thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you next time, and without further ado, take care everyone.